I watched the second half of Invincible Season 2, and I must admit it was pretty good. I enjoyed all 4 episodes, but before I talk about the story and the characters, there is one important thing that keeps bothering me about the show, and I feel like I need to talk about it. This thing is animation. The animation in this show is really bad. I appreciate the meta joke that was added to the show.
You ever notice that sometimes whoever's speaking has their mouth off camera so you never see their lips moving?
Huh. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, or we'll cut to the back of someone's head while they're talking for the same reason. Other times we'll do a wide shot and slowly pan across it. It looks like it's animated, but it's so far away, you don't notice. Nothing's moving.
But with all due respect, it doesn't, and frankly speaking, shouldn't excuse lazy animation. Just take a look at this moment. Seriously, what is this? His arms aren't even moving. The arms start swinging only when we see William's legs, and this is what I call lazy animation. And I am sure there are more moments like this which I missed. Invincible is an expensive and popular show on Amazon Prime, so how can the animation quality even be so poor? Well, I've got 2 answers for all the money that could be used for better animation was spent. First, it's voice actors, of course. The characters are voiced by big Hollywood celebrities. Steven Yeun, Sandra Oh, J.K. Simmons, Walter Goggins, even Ezra Miller voiced a character named Dr. Sinclair, albeit he was recast due to endless criminal allegations. Obviously, a lot of money goes to paychecks of all these actors. Another reason is music. Amazon licensed a lot of songs for the show. Many other movies and shows use cover versions of popular songs to pay less money. A cover of For Whom the Bell Tolls was used in Blue Eye Samurai instead of Metallica's original record. But most songs in Invincible are original, including songs by heavyweight bands like Radiohead. Voice acting and music is basically where most of the money is gone. As a result, we got an animation that doesn't really look good. And for those who try to excuse the poor animation, another Amazon show called The Legend of Vox Machina looks like this, and it is obviously much better. And this is how Netflix's Castlevania looks. If you don't want or cannot spend too much money to make animation look fluid, the Owl House has some advice for you. Most of the show looks like your average modern Disney Channel show, but when it comes to fights or other important moments, frame rate increases and animation gets much more fluid and sophisticated. This is what you can do to at least make fights or important moments look great. However, Invincible doesn't even do that. I try to ignore the poor animation quality, but at times it's just too conspicuous and that really bothers me. But at least the story was actually engaging, so let's talk about it now. The finale of season 2 is written to parallel the ending of the first season, but with Mark and Angstrom instead of Omni-Man and Mark. But if Omni-Man actually stops and doesn't kill Mark, Mark cannot stop himself and suppress his anger. He kills Angstrom and then immediately proceeds to regret it. This has been the main theme underlying season 2. Mark spent most of his life trying to be like his father. Even when he didn't have his Viltrumite powers, he wanted to impress his father through sport and other achievements. Omni-Man was an inspiration for his son, until Mark found out the truth about who his father actually was and why he came to Earth in the first place. An entire second season Invincible was living in his father's shadow, desperately trying to prove that he is not his father and that he is a much better person and a better hero who doesn't commit slaughter. But in the end, he just cannot stop himself. And as much as everyone else tries to convince Mark that he did the right thing by murdering Angstrom, Angstrom became a dangerous psychopath after all. Mark still feels like he failed. Those emotions that he experiences are very raw. Everything from the visual style to Steven Yeun's voice acting is nearly perfect. Angstrom is a great villain and I was surprised to see him killed in season 2 already. I guess my prediction wasn't really correct and this multiverse thing won't overshadow the war versus the Viltrum Empire. Just so you know, I haven't read the comics, so I don't know where the story is going. I'd rather watch the show, to be honest, than read the comics. But if the gap between seasons will be more than 1 year, I'm not sure I will wait for this long. And speaking of the gaps, it's honestly ridiculous. It's 2.5 years between seasons. And the second season was released with a huge, almost 4-month long break in the middle. Some people clearly don't like that the story focuses on the main character's drama and relationship, rather than just pure action. I must admit that at times the show definitely feels like a soap opera about relationships. But it is very important to understand how characters feel and to have emotional empathy towards them. Mark is struggling with his relationship. He loves Amber and wants to be with her with all his heart, but he can barely even spend time with her. He's a superhero after all, and he's always needed somewhere else to defend or defeat someone. Mark wishes to study in college and just have a normal, regular life, but he just can't. He leaves Earth for a month, and when he goes back to college, he can barely even understand what he's supposed to study, simply because he missed too much. Mark decides to ask his mother about her marriage with Omni-Man, which makes Mark realize that his relationship with Amber is getting dangerously close to what was between Mark's parents. The catalyst was Anissa, who was very close to killing Amber. Mark realized that he can't risk the lives of people around him, and his relationship with Amber must end. And after killing Angstrom, Mark also quits college because he wants to dedicate himself to learning how to control himself and become a better hero who won't just snap. To be honest, I expected more reaction from Mark after episode 4. His father was taken to be executed. He was designated to be the conqueror of Earth in his father's stead. A fascist super powerful civilization can arrive at any moment and slaughter every person who Marx ever knew. I'd call this a pretty damn great reason to freak out. Skipping college classes has to be pretty low on Mark's undoubtedly very long list of priorities. One more point of criticism is that the Teen Team characters are not that interesting to follow apart from Adam Eve. And apart from Adam Eve, their powers feel pretty worthless, to be honest. Like, how are they even supposed to be fighting the Viltrumites when even Invincible, the strongest among them, can't? But anyway, I like how the story is developing in general. There is another Viltrumite who is against the Empire, and he practically resurrected and rebuilt Alien to be even stronger, so now Alien can actually fight the Viltrumites. The show is planned to be going for at least 7 seasons in order to cover the whole story from the comic books. At the current release rate, we're gonna see the final season somewhere around 2035. All I'm saying is that the release schedule must be altered, or certain voice actors might not survive till the final season. Seriously though, people are not invincible. 10 years is a lot. Maybe Earth won't even be around for so long. Who knows? Well, I'm gonna need some rest now. I guess I'll go and watch some show about imps with guns. See ya.